Yo, what's good? Magnetic What Ifs here. Today's going to be what if Deku, what if Yasuo from League of Legends was in My Hero Academia. By the way, to people who knows lores of League of Legends, I'm gonna change some things about Yasuo, and lastly, I'm gonna use the sound effect of Hanzo from Overwatch, the ultimate of his. It sounds like Yuga waga tekibukuro. That one. I will use that for something, one of his abilities. Okay, let's start. There was a boy named Yasuo Azakana. He had an older brother called Yone Azakana. Yasuo and Yone lived in a hidden village in the mountains. Yasuo was really impatient, aggressive, but he was pretty cold for a kid. He only kept to himself and only talked to his brother. The village hated Yasuo because most of the time Yasuo gets into fights. Yone said, Yasuo, you should not always cause a hard time for the village elders. But the village elders, kids started it. Yone said, there is no need to fight Yasuo. We just need to tolerate and calm ourselves sometimes. Yasuo scoffs, and 2 days later, Yone was called to the village chief's dojo and was accepted. Yasuo was a bit jealous, but he was also happy that his brother got in. Yasuo wanted to join, but was not accepted into the dojo, so he practiced every day even if it was raining. The village chief saw patience and determination in Yasuo. When Yasuo was accepted to the dojo, the, do- the chief of the village tra- trained him and he saw potential in Yasuo. He learned the, he learned that he can learn the hidden technique. It is called the wind technique. I know it's a little bit boring, but it's pretty OP. Yone couldn't even learn this. This is where Yasuo learned 6 abilities. I'm gonna go through these 6 abilities. If you don't want to hear the abilities, you can skip forward a little bit. Okay, here it is. Way of the Wanderer. Yasuo's attack damages are tripled, and the more he moves around, it builds or gathers the wind to make a shield nullifying attacks. Steel Tempest. He thrusts forwards, damaging enemies in a line. Wind Wall. Excuse me. Yasuo creates a wall of wind that blocks all emitter type quirks for 20 seconds, but can't block any physical type quirks like sword slices, punches, and other more. Sweeping Blades. He dashes towards an enemy and does a spinning move that damages villains around a certain range or the sword that he has. By the way, this is his hero costume. That's his hero costume. This is his casual clothes. By the way, this is his sword. This is his sword, but it's a reverse blade. I'm gonna tell the descriptions later of the sword, and let's go. Excuse me for that. Rage of the Wind God. Yasuo emits a large tornado, about 5 to or more in meters tall, with dragon-like outlines, and knocks villains into the air. And the last ability is called Last Breath. Yasuo dashes to an airborne enemy and does 100 to 500 slashes if Yasuo wanted. And in the last strike, Yasuo slams the enemy to the ground. Yasuo's sword is around 1 meter long. Yeah, because as you can see in the picture, he is around his sword is pretty long. Okay, I'm gonna now start now. When Yasuo was learning it, or I mean the hidden technique, wind technique, he was learning it pretty fast. And excuse me for that. I'm just sick for now. By the way, he in this time he was 7 years old, so he's pretty OP a little bit. I'm sorry for that. If it's pretty OP, I'm sorry. I'm gonna do a time skip when Yasuo was 14. The master noticed that Yasuo has changed a bit but was still impatient and really cold. Master called Yasuo and Yone. The master said, Yasuo, you are now 14 and you have improved and changed a lot since you came to this dojo. I will give you a blade that changes to the owner's will. If the owner intends to kill, it will turn into a blade sharp enough to cut through anything. It is made from the strongest and lightest metal known to man, and I will give it to you. So, Yasuo's swords are kind of reverse blades. A reverse blade like Rurouni Kenshin's. He his sword only can be used by Yasuo and can change if Yasuo wants to kill, he can make the blade sharper, or if he does not want to kill and just wants to hurt them, it becomes a reverse blade. The master said, it was made from the strongest and lightest metal known to man. And Yone, I give you both of my swords. Both Yasuo and Yone said, thank you, master. Ma- Now, let us have a feast for the entire village, the master said. Yasuo, go get firewood for the preparation of the feast. Yes, master. But while Yasuo was gathering firewood, a group of ninjas attacked and killed the whole village very silently. No one noticed but Yone. Yone screamed and fought, killing 16 ninjas, but was stabbed through the back by around 30 ninjas. By the way, if you're gonna be weirded out by this because Yon is gonna be talking a lot here, he has pain tolerance for that now. But Yon is gonna die. Spoiler. Yasuo heard Yon scream, and Yasuo dashed through the forest as fast as he can. He saw 30 ninjas that just stabbed Yone, and Yasuo was pretty enraged and killed every remaining ninja brutally. With Yone's last moments, Yone said, Yasuo, I am at the end of my life. He coughs blood. He coughs blood. If av- you have avenged all of the people in the village, thank you. Go to a city named Musutafu near Tokyo. There's a relative there called Inko Azakana. Ask her to help you. Take all of the treasure in our treasure room and use it for your travel. It will help you. By the way, Inko is pretty rich here in this what if. She is a hero, top 5. Her telekinesis is pretty strong in this one. He, hero name would be Psylocke. And Izuku Azakana will be here. I'll change their name, Izuku Azakana. I am, Yasuo says, I am sorry, brother. I have failed the honor of the village of Ionia. In the last in the last breath of Ione, it is better than living without it, brother. Yasuo screamed while crying, as it was heard all over Japan, a roar causing thunder, and residing an hour later. Yasuo took the time to bury the villagers, his master, and Yone with his swords. Yasuo prayed to honor every people in the village. Yasuo did as Yone said, but he first destroyed every ninja posts, main bases, and other ninja structures, and took him 2 years. Now that Yasuo is 16, he has not used the treasure and only lived hunting in the wilderness. Once he finished his missions, he traveled 80 miles to Musutafu, and a pretty lot of people were, excuse me, looking at him because he was wearing his clothes in the picture, as you can see there. Was stopped by the police and said, "You can't carry a sword around," the police said, and took him to the police station. Yasuo was pretty cooperative, so they felt bad for shouting at him. The police, excuse me, asked where he was from, and he said he was from Ionia. The police was confused. They asked where was Ionia. Yasuo said it was a village in the mountains, and the police understood why he was carrying the sword around. So they asked what his quirk was. Yasuo didn't know about what a quirk. The police what explained the quirk. Yasuo understood it, and he didn't want the police to know the hidden technique. So he said he can use the wind as a weapon, and the reverse blade was part of his quirk. He showed them the blade, and it was pretty dull. So they registered the the sword and his as his quirk, and the police asked why he came to Musutafu. I'm sorry for that. Yasuo said, "My brother told me to find a relative called Inko Azakana. My name is Yasuo Azakana." The police searched for Inko Azakana and saw it was the number 5 hero called Psylocke. They called Inko, and she automatically went to the station and picked up Yasuo. He asked, "Are you Inko Azakana?" He replied, "Yes, I am." And she asked, "You're Yasuo, right? Yona's little brother?" Yasuo said, "Yes." While Inko was driving, she asked, "So, how is Yona in the village?" Yasuo stayed silent for a second. Inko asked if something happened. Yasuo replied, "The village was massacred by ninjas 2 years ago. While I was getting firewood, I was the only one that survived. And in those 2 years, I searched all over Japan for the ninja organizations, and I finished the job." Inko understood why he did it. When they got to Inko's house, Yasuo saw Izuku Azakana. Yeah, Izuku's gonna be here. And this time, he is going to have one for all. And by the way, the UA entrance exam will start around when they're 18 years old, both Yasuo and Izuku Midoriya, or Azakana. Yasuo asked, "Who is he?" And Inko said, "He's my son. You're the same age as him, but you're a lot taller than him, by a lot." Yasuo was around 6'5". Izuku Midoriya was around 6 foot. 6 foot. I mean 5 foot. Um, 7. I'm just gonna say that. They introduced themselves and had a chat. Inko said, "By the way, do you have your supplies? Cause we're gonna chase that." Yasuo put a big ass bag on the table, and when he put it down, the table broke. And Inko said, "You were carrying this around for 2 years? Wow, you're pretty strong." Yasuo said, "Yeah, I'm pretty strong, but..." When he asked Inko why Izuku was pretty skinny, she said, "Oh, he does not have a quirk." "Oh," Yasuo said. When Yasuo thought something, "Maybe I should train this kid." "Yeah, I should." Yasuo said, "Izuku, Can I train you? Izuku said, how? I'm pretty weak. I can't even do my things, like picking up boxes and things. Don't worry, I will train you. But this won't be an easy training. I will make you fit. As long as you help me adapt to this city. Izuku said, yes, thank you. And when Izuku said, by the way, Izuku is a bit drippy in this one. That boy got a drip. Yeah. So Izuku said, but first we're gonna need to get you some new clothes. As, yes, okay. Yasuo said, okay. This one, I'm sorry for that. This one, that's for Yasuo. Yasuo's normal clothes. Don't mind the things, but he will still have the mask and the headphones because he liked the the headphones. And there, Inko and once Izuku and Yasuo got home, Inko said, "Did you have fun, both of you?" Both of them said yes. And in about a year later, Yasuo was 17. Yasuo always have trained Deku, so he's pretty fit. But bro, if you would look at Yasuo, he would shredded as fuck. Demonetization. Yasuo Yasuo was pretty annoyed at Bakugo at first. He was pretty annoyed because he was bullying Deku. Yasuo was at the first day. Yasuo was pretty angry at Bakugo because Bakugo just threw an explosion at Deku. Once Bakugo threw another explosion, was about to throw another explosion, Yasuo threw a wind wall and protected Izuku. And actually, Yasuo is pretty handsome in this, so he'd be pretty popular. Excuse me for that. Bakugo was pretty annoyed by this and tried to beat beat Yasuo. He was always getting beat once he tried to challenge, so he stopped bullying Izuku. But he still has the superiority complex that he has in the manga. While the I'm gonna go to Izuku's perspective for now. When Izuku's perspective, he is pretty walking around because Yasuo had some schoolwork to do, and he was part of the committee. When Deku was walking home, yes, it was Izuku Midoriya, by the way. I'm gonna change his name to Izuku Arasakana. I said that earlier. Sorry. He was attacked by the sludge villain, but the sludge villain really had a bit of a hard time. Has a bit of a hard time. So it would be around when Deku gets snatched by the sludge villain. That's where All Might comes. So Deku was not almost dying. He did not pass out. Deku was fanboying over All Might. All Might. Deku said, "Wow, it's All Might. It's All Might. Wow, can I shake your hand?" And as they shook hand, young man, did you Thank you for taking time. What is your quirk? Oh, I'm quirkless, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, young man. I'm gonna go. The All Might put the sludge villain in the bottle, but when All Might was about to jump off, Izuku said, "All Might, us. What is it, young man? Can I become a hero without a quirk?" Because All Might is not a dick in here. He says, "Of course you can. As long as you become as long as you practice and train hard enough, you would be a pretty good hero if you want to. The first quirkless hero if you want to." As this pretty much had Deku what was it called? Had Deku be inspired a lot more than becoming a hero. So he'd be a bit more smarter a little bit, because I don't want him to be breaking his hand the first time. Okay, switch to Yasuo's perspective. By the way, All Might does drop it, and it was Izuku that was. While Izu, I'm gonna go back. I'm really sorry for this. Deku was while Deku was pretty happy going home. The All Might actually dropped the sludge fillet after his second jump, not his first jump. When All Might jumped at the first time, Deku did not get jump onto All Might, so it's pretty good. But it got the pocket got a little bit loose, and when All Might jumped the second time, the bottle the bottle fell, and the bottle cap opened. When Deku saw this, he didn't have any time to react, and got pretty much sludged thingy. I don't know. But at Yasuo's perspective, he was walking home. He saw a big crowd, people. He went to it, and he saw Deku getting sludged. He asked, "Why are the heroes not doing anything?" Because of course, he's gonna show emotion because it was Deku. He was friends with him. I know Yasuo is gonna be pretty cold here to other people, but for Deku, by the way, this is not a gay ship, please. Thank you. Um, when Yasuo said it, the people said, the heroes don't have the right quirks for this. Yasuo was getting pretty impatient because none of the heroes are doing anything. So Yasuo dashed to the villain, and Yasuo can control the wind here, so he he uses he he uses the Rage of the Wind God, the tornado thing, but he can control it. He can make it a little bit smaller. And this one, it does not take Deku. It just removes Deku and then takes the sludge villain up everyone. And he says, "Yoga waga tekibukuro." As he said that, the tornado comes out, and once Deku was removed from the, he was throw Deku was thrown to the heroes, and Yasuo was going to do last breath. So he says, "Soriegeto." As he does that, the sludge villain gets pretty much knocked out, because this one Yasuo does not want to kill, because there's something. I'm really sorry for that. Um, when Deku wakes up, Yasuo was there. He was being scolded, but he was pretty much most of the time being praised because of what he did. When Deku saw him, Oh, hi Yasuo, we said, as Yasuo said. Deku, are you okay? I mean, Izuku, are you okay? Yasuo said. He said, yeah, I'm just a little bit dizzy, Deku said. All Might saw the potential in Yasuo, but once I'm not gonna give Yasuo one for all here. I'm gonna give it to Deku because I don't know. I just want to. I'm sorry for that. Um, this one, Yasuo goes. Once Yasuo and Deku goes, Deku just went to a store to buy something, and All Might just appears in front of Yasuo, saying, "I am here." As the Yasuo saw it, and he was pretty cold about it. Yeah, All Might said in his mind, "Why is this kid not fawning over me?" But it's pretty fine. I like this kid. He's not a big ass fan. I won't. All Might does not hate his fans here, but he's he's just pretty weirded out that this kid is not like fanboying over him. So it's pretty weird for him. Yeah, All Might says, "Our young man, what is your name?" He said. Yasuo says, "My name is Yasuo Zakana." And pretty good name, All Might said. And then I mean, All Might says, "I know this is pretty sudden, young man, but do you want my quirk?" As was pretty a little bit. Yasuo was a little bit shocked by this because he does not know All Might, because he does not have any knowledge about heroes, but he knows some things about All Might things because of Deku. And then Yasuo says, "I politely decline. Sorry, but I do have someone in mind." He said. "Who is it, young man?" Um, you do you know that boy? That that boy that I saved? He's my relative, and he is pretty determined to be a hero, even if he's quirkless. All Might, as All Might recalled, he saw that kid that he said that can be a hero. As when Deku went out, he saw All Might and Yasuo talking, and yet Deku just ran to All Might and says, "Wow, it's All Might! This is pretty cool! Wow, do you know him? I mean, I'm sorry, but are these okay? Wow, it's All Might! Wow, you're pretty cool. By the way, All Might, I did not see your..." When All Might says, "Oh, young man, look at your notebook." He sees the All Might autograph, mostly on every page because Deku did not take it, he forgot it. So when All Might did, he took the time to write his signature, his autographs on the I hate this cough, I'm sorry. He took the time to write his autograph so that this kid won't turn into the villain side, because All Might knows how it feels to be quirkless. And then he buffs down to his small might form, and "Oh no," Deku says. "Oh no, who are you? Where's All Might?" He said. "I know I'm sorry if you're getting annoyed by the stuttering noises. For me, I'm sorry. But Yasuo says, "Don't worry, Deku. Izuku, that's real All Might." As All Might explains about his scar and about One for All. Um, but your relative here, he said, Yasuo here, he said that I should give you my quirk. And as per se, my my thinking about you is pretty good because you have a heart of a hero. Even if you're quirkless, you're still determined to be a hero. As Deku is crying, he's a crybaby because of Bakugo. I hate that guy. I'm gonna do a little rant here, but I'm sorry. Um, bro, Bakugo was pretty fucked. He, if Deku would have, if Deku would have been friends, wouldn't have been friends with him, Deku wouldn't be a crybaby, dude. People just hate on him. He's a pretty good character, and I'm sorry for that rant. So let's start again. All Might gives Deku the one hole, and he looks pretty weak. So yeah, All Might says, "You two, come to Dagobah Beach tomorrow," he said. "It's pretty late. I'll give you my number." As they took All Might's number, they they went home, and Izuku says to Inko, Mom, I got All Might's autograph on most of my notes here." And wow, that's pretty cool. Do you want my autograph too? Being sarcastic. "Mom, I already have a lot of your autographs," he says, as Inko laughs. Haha. I can't laugh right now because I have laryngitis. I'm sorry. Um, this one, when Yasuo sleeps, he dreamt of the villagers and Yone, because Yasuo still has that hurt feelings of him, because he blames himself because he was not there to protect most of the villagers and his brother. He blames himself. I mean, not hurtful feelings, I'm sorry. It's like he just dreams, and most of in his dream he says, the villagers and Yone said, "It is not your fault, brother Yone. No, it is no one's fault. We could have been stronger, but we couldn't. You have avenged us, and we are thankful for that. You can now rest that vengeful self of yours and focus on your own dreams." And then Yone just woke up and just stood up, and he was in the early in the morning. They just both Deku and Yasuo, they both of them ate breakfast. By the way, Yasuo helps them too, always, because of the treasures. Gives them, like, helps them with but the money, but they're not. Inko's not really poor here. He just wants to help. So Deku and Yasuo goes to the Daguba beach. I'm sorry, I can't speak. Um, Yasuo and Deku, they saw All Might standing there, and oh, it's All Might. All Might, what? You're pretty early. Oh, you're pretty early too, young mans. Now, take off your clothes. Wait, asked Deku and Yasuo. Wait, what? But Yasuo in a cold voice, like, wait, what? Like that? Um, yeah, Yasuo. Oh, All Might said, oh no, I'm just doing a physical test. I'm really sorry for that if you did a misunderstanding. Oh, and Deku and Yasuo said, "Oh, that's why." They took off their shirts and saw that they're pretty lean. And All Might asked, "By the way, Yasuo, what is young Azakana? Yasuo, Yasuo. What what is your quirk?" Uh, oh, I can control the wind by using my sword and my hands. When he said that, that's pretty strong quirk. When Now for your training, for the 10 months, you can help help yourself train and by cleaning whole this beach. Both Deku and Yasuo is pretty strong here, so it's okay. They're gonna clean this for about 5 months, cause Yasuo does not really help. He's pretty lazy, but he still helps, cause he's really strong now here. For Deku to train more. When they cleaned the beach, All Might said, "I will now give you my power, Izuku." And as All Might plucked a hair out of his hair, and she says, "Eat this." Izuku was pretty, pretty weirded out by that, and Yasuo just chuckles like, just like that. I'm really sorry if I can't laugh right now. De- Deku just eats it, and All Might explains, um, "Okay, this is how you use the quirk. You should use the quirk by by clenching your butt cheeks and shouting out smash." Yasuo was pretty not he's not stupid, he just thinks, "What? What do you mean?" Deku says, "Oh, okay." He When he tries to punch, Yasuo stops him. He said, "Why did you stop me, Yasuo?" He said, that explanation was pretty weird. So, All Might, I'm really sorry for this, but your advice was pretty bad for that." "What? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, young man. I'm not that good at explaining things." Yasuo explains to let it flow to your body and make just like when you feel the wind. Because that Yasuo's explanation was pretty advanced for a kid, 18-year-old, 17-year-old. I mean, his Deku is going to have it pretty much full cowling early. He can control around because of his fit body. He can control around 20% of one for all without strain. With strain around 30%. 30%. Okay. In the 5 months left, Dick Yasuo does not really review about anything in the exam. Deku does. But Yasuo just pretty much uses the technology because he does not have that ever since he was a kid, and it's pretty boring out there. So he does not try to learn. But Yasuo is not stupid in this one. So in the 10 months, that's it. We're gonna finish that video here, and yeah, thank you for watching. And if you liked it, like it. If you want, subscribe, please. It's my first video. I accept criticism. Thank you, and goodbye.